Health Check is presented by
Island Cancer Center.
When a person experiences an event that they are unable to cope with, it leads to trauma, and whether or not a person is able to recover from trauma is dependent on the approach that is used to help the individual. Speaker William Killebrew.
The component that I focus on is called a trauma-informed approach, and it is non-clinical, and it is a practical elements, key principles and concepts that focus on realizing the prevalence of trauma, understanding that there's trauma in our community, and also recognizing the role that trauma plays in our lives.
So what is trauma and how does it affect our lives?
The key about trauma and understanding what is trauma is what Dr. Griffin has said is the event, the experience, and the effects of an event. Many people think the event is the trauma, but whatever event it is not the trauma. It's the fact that the event completely overwhelms a person's capacity to cope. And so a trauma is defined by the person who is overwhelmed.
So what is the trauma care informed approach? Well, it is simple. It is one where compassion leads before judgment. It is one that does not place blame on an individual and asks what happened to you instead of what's wrong with you. Killebrew says that anyone can use the trauma care informed approach.
It is one grandmothers can use. It is one that youth can use. Children are even trauma informed. Ones who show compassion to one of their classmates who may have had a difficult time, and the child goes over to the other child and puts his hand on the other child.
He says in addressing trauma, there are 6 key principles or concepts, which include safety, transparency, collaboration, and peer support. According to Killebrew, it is important to create a safe environment based on how the affected person feels, not on how the person providing the help feels. He adds that safety needs to be a priority because oftentimes trauma disconnects the sense of connection, control, and meaning. And in order to recover from trauma, these factors must be restored.
Health Check is presented by
Island Cancer Center.